talk about, as you can see, kind of common theme, and we're going to collectively build this out, Zach and I, as we build out what site director KPIs are, but we need them not just for these departments, but obviously location by location, and those are what needs to get out to site directors. And then things that Matt and I talk on more on a regular basis, and then nutrition. But these should be items that you just get very, very comfortable with seeing and knowing and having conversations about, okay? So I will make sure that on the PT side, everything is in Trainual. I'm sure a lot of that, already has been done on Jen's side with regards to, I know that the cadence, because I get the emails of weekly and monthly reports. But ideally, and what we're shifting towards, and Zach and I will have more information on this, but better expectations on the clinical side, I know it is being worked on as well, is what is exceeding expectations, what's meeting expectations, what's operating, and where are we at a cause for concern. So we'll kind of have 4 different categories. Obviously, with one metric, you could be in one area, another metric, you could be in another area, but it could create conversations for you as to better, better able to streamline your efforts. And ideally putting yourself in a situation where you're spending time with whoever it is that, could be admin support, if it's related to the clerical side of things, it could be Yuri if it's related to billing tasks, it could be Corey if it's related to the clinical side. You have a better idea of where you should be focusing. If you're exceeding expectations in a certain area, great. If you're not quite meeting and you're in our under category, then we need to have immediate conversations and we need to put plans in place. If you're operating, that's great. And then on the clinical side, if you're meeting, that's kind of our previous 250 visits, world-class net promoter score, billable unit expectations, average visits per DC, 10 to 12, the metrics that we have set that we only have one category for. So moving forward, you'll have 4 different categories, so you have a better idea. What we did is we looked at historical data and we kind of broke people out based on kind of percentiles of what we've seen previously, and then industry data. So it's a collection of both, and then ideally throughout the course of the year, myself and Zach have a better idea of what site directors have, and we'll kind of come up with class criteria as well. Where are you exceeding expectations? Where are you meeting? Where are you just kind of operating and figuring out stuff, and then where might we be in a situation we need to have a conversation? Is everybody okay with that? Okay, so ideally that's something that we have. You all have no gray areas as to what's being looked at. As it relates to the final presentation, and let me try to get out of here. And then after that, I will just need the clinical team to stick around for a brief, probably 5-minute talk, and then site directors as well after that. And we'll easily be out of here. I mean, this won't be that. We'll probably be out of here, everybody collectively by 3:45. So just bear with me. All right, this is looking forward. Okay, final presentation of the day: future of R2P. This is just things to have an idea in the back of your mind. Every year we want to focus on making the place as green as possible. We want to take care of things where we're at. If you remotely think there's greener grass anywhere and there's a better way that we can do things, let's figure out how to make sure that our grass is on the right, okay? Hopefully you understand that we're in a position, we want to continually make things better for everybody here. Yes, we're planning to add new people, upgrade process. I think the culture is really, really good. It can only get a little bit better over the course of time, and overall just improve the ecosystem for all stakeholders. What that should be is it should be a lot like your iPhone, your iOS update. This is iOS update 17. This is our 10th year of doing things. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up. It's a lot better than year 1, and I hope this year is a whole lot better than the last year. So ideally, you're buying in to an update as somebody who's part of the process of updating the company. A couple things that kind of came top of mind. Prompted Virtual Sally. I'm very, very excited just to see what workflows look like. What areas are big improvements, what areas, as mentioned already with mid-February, are in the pipeline, what other things that we know that they have going on with regards to updates are coming. And then with regards to Virtual Sally, I did just order 5 new computers, so if anybody's excited about that, who's been dealing with that, okay, the RAM issues and gigabyte stuff that I just know anything about, and I just had to tag out, but that's coming, so that should make you all's life much easier. In-service revamp, super excited about that. Corey Jones, again, awesome, wherever you are, congratulations, okay. I think that's a huge win for everybody. Nutrition, +1, where's Jessica? No pressure. Okay, here we go. We talked about it last year, figuring it out, worked it out. It's gonna happen this year, all right? Locations, Owings Mills next. I know that for sure. Most likely after that, we got Prince George's County, somewhere between Largo and Lanham, where 50 meets 495, with Brew and Amber. And then after that, it should be Reston. I've got other stuff getting kicked around, Bethesda expansion, Annapolis potential expansion, maybe across the Bay Bridge, I don't know, maybe Westminster. We'll figure all that out. But there's stuff in the pipeline, and a lot of it is opportunities that either you are presenting or people are reaching out to us as a company and asking us because we're a stable tenant. Like, made it through the pandemic, still doing well. People are seeing it, people are reaching out, hey, you like the space? And then it's a matter of like having conversations with people. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to live short term? Where do you want to live long term? Obviously there's benefits to being with the company for tenure. So if the company expands across the DMV and you like the DMV, it could be beneficial. Where if you were to move a new area, you don't necessarily have to switch companies. But I can assure you, Owings Mill is absolutely happening next. If that doesn't get signed within the next week in terms of things getting done on the lawyer side, I'll be shocked. And then the formal internal leadership program. And I didn't make this clear. That's not just something that the PTs will be able to go through. Okay, so it's not just clinical team, that's everybody, but we will need you all to uphold certain things as it requires you to earn into the ability to add something new to your plate, okay? Once you check off certain boxes, hey, now we're gonna provide you access to this from an internal leadership standpoint. But a lot of what we focused on early on is, building yourself and building your ability to deliver service, okay, with regards to early stages, and then we can layer on the rest as you go. Goals, maintain world-class NPS, retain every single, every one of our clinicians. It's always our goal. It might be unattainable. I think that as we move forward and we have more pathways, which we do now, as it relates to everything non-clinical, I think we'll be able to find a better gauge and metric with regards to promotions for non-clinical positions. Maintain elite metrics. It was very complimentary. Hope everybody knows how good things are as it relates to front desk and behind the scenes metrics, but we want to maintain that. We want to become synonymous with clinical excellence, and I know you might think we're there. Like, I'm always going to keep saying that we're not quite there yet, and maybe that's just my mindset. We can keep getting better, we can keep elevating things, and we can continue to be, ideally, the group that other people are chasing in this region. Increase opportunities for team members that build, lead, and sell. Increase our residency program to a national scale. I think it's off to a great start. I'm very impressed when I hear about in year 4, with regards to how many people we're having interviews with, and then talking to other people and being surprised how long they've been around for and not having as many interviews. So, it obviously says a lot about the company, the people that were involved, the adjunct faculty, the work that Zach has put in, but I'm super excited to see where not only that goes, and the orthopedic residency as well.
One thing on that, 10 of the 14 people I interviewed all referenced Gary and Kevin's series with Sam from the first residency, and then ongoing stuff with Christian and Mommy, and other things that we've been doing with our current cohort as reasons of how they found out about us. And then our application is one of the only ones that's not part of the central application system. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to apply for us, but that way more people who do actually want to be with us. But yeah, almost all of them have referenced your guys' work in regards to.
Woo-hoo! Way to go! On that same note, significantly expand social media presence. I would love to more than double it. I think it's possible with when you see the trends over the recent months versus the trends in the early part of 2023. Continually refine Kajabi and train you on what the best asynchronous resources. So whatever we can provide you that's best in class, however we can round that out and make the whole experience better for you, we want to do that. Calibrating staffing with technology upgrade that goes hand in hand with how much work needs to get done for the people that are here versus the patients that we serve. So whatever our ratio of needing to hire versus patients served, if that has to change a little bit, ideally it does change as the result of having technology and efficiencies with the technology, that is something that I'm excited about. So if there are certain things in the tech platform that allow us to do more work with less people, that's a win. That's one of the benefits of technology. And ideally, again, it's the automation challenge. If you can think about tedious things that we can automate and kind of keep out of sight, out of mind, and allow people to operate at higher levels with regards to things that they're thinking about, that would be a huge win. Rounding out diagnosis-specific email drip campaigns, that's something we're going to get back on the wagon with. I think we've got 7, 6, something like that. We want to have more. When people come in and they have a non-specific shoulder pain, or when they've got an Achilles, like, we want an educational journey that follows them, that makes your life easier for a lot more cases or injuries or pain patterns than we have right now. Okay, so that's something that's a goal as we learn how to utilize Keep a little bit more in the integration with Prompt. Creating simplified and repeatable exposure, engagement, and conversion strategies for new talent. This is on me. Marketing for people to join me. Okay, I need to put more repeatable processes in place. It's getting to be one of those things where we've been very, very fortunate to have people reach out and to be able to forecast for job positions. I'm not saying that that is changing significantly, but I think as we continue to grow, it becomes harder and harder, and I don't want to just rely on what worked in the past. And then refining interview selection and hiring process. Already put out that hiring guide. It's like a 9 or 10 step hiring guide. I'm trying to think who I talked about it recently, Hill. Hopefully some of the site directors have gotten to kind of poke around there a little bit more, but ideally building that out and making things a lot easier and having a better way of me talking to you through the process, you talking to your team through the process, and us kind of coming up with whether or not we're going to bring somebody on.